back, people, and like I told you earlier, we'll still be getting more tips and tricks from the CEO of the Entrepreneur Africa, aka T, and that person happens to be no other person other than Mr. David Agon. We're glad we still have you here.
Yeah, I'm glad.
So, sir, speaking of the Boss Ladies Conference, you said it's a gathering of women already established and yet
The
to
upcoming,
established.
yes.
Okay, so at this conference, are there better money opportunities for ladies who are ready to go into business?
Yes.
Like I'm trying to ask now, if somebody walks in with the idea and every other thing that she has already arranged and gotten ready, but just the money that is needed to actually kickstart whatever it is she has brought to the table.
Yeah.
So are there money opportunities for ladies like that?
Yes, sometimes we share money. Literally, we share money. We've had an edition where spontaneously one of the speakers took the stage and then asked a question, a business-oriented question, and stated that whoever answers this question would get $500 from her. And a particular lady answered that question correctly, and immediately this speaker handed $500. I don't know how much is that in Naira today.
I think I need to Google that.
That's some,
I need to go and meet that woman and answer questions to us because I need $500.
So by the time that particular edition was over, by the time that day was over, a couple of hundreds of thousands of Naira had been given out to ladies who attended. But beyond this, at each edition of Boss Lady Conference, we always create an opportunity for the attending ladies to pitch their businesses, pitch their ideas. Yeah, so if anyone happens to be lucky enough to be selected among those to pitch businesses, you also stand a chance of winning either partnership, investment, or grants, either from our partners or from the speakers and guests or from the Entrepreneur Africa itself. So there are usually opportunities like that.
So meaning there are bigger benefits and there are amazing benefits for the ladies.
Of course, you get to learn a whole lot about business. Definitely, you leave, every attendee often leaves that conference with a whole new mindset, a whole new approach to doing business. Yes.
Oh, wow. Really amazing. So, sir, does all you do only concern Africans of Nigerian descent, or does it also cut to all continents?
It's an African affair. The Entrepreneur Africa is an entrepreneurship lifestyle company with focus on African businesses and the people behind them. So that means it's way beyond Nigeria. On the magazine, for instance, we often feature last edition, the October edition of the Entrepreneur Africa magazine. We featured startup owners from Egypt, 3 startup owners who are currently running one of the biggest payment, what do you call it, more like a fintech business in Egypt. We featured them and they told their amazing story on that magazine. So the Entrepreneur Africa Awards that I talked about earlier, I already said we usually have nominees from across many African countries. Last year, one of the winners, I think the winner of Event Management Brand of the Year is a Ghanaian. She flew in all the way from Ghana to attend the award. So basically we have a broad outlook and a broad approach at the African continent, but we take it step by step. Of course, starting with Nigeria, we start with Nigeria and then we penetrate into the rest of Africa.
Oh, wow. Okay, so as a lawyer with an entrepreneurial background, how do you combine working in the legal field as well as finding and doing your business together, or does the 2 roles work hand in hand?
I would put it the other way around, as an entrepreneur with a law background.
Okay, so you're an entrepreneur with
a law background. Really? Because entrepreneurship is more of what I do in actual effect, but I also still practice a bit of law, but that is in the minority of what I do.
Okay, so you still get to court and you do objection, my lord. My client did not do what he has been accused of doing.
Law practice is way broader than that.
Oh, wow.
So we have what we call corporate practice or commercial practice.
Okay,
we have IP law, which is intellectual property. We have entertainment law, and of course we have litigation. Litigation is the one that strictly has to do with going to court, doing what you said, objection, my lord. So a lot of lawyers love litigation, Okay, and like I said, that's the one that involves going to courts for advocacy, representing your client, either as a defense lawyer or as a prosecuting lawyer, as a defendant lawyer, or as a plaintiff lawyer, depending on which side of the divide you are. So the other one is corporate law, corporate practice. That involves is more of a commercial transaction lawyer. Who handles things like agreements, contracts, real estate documentations, corporate affairs, commission registrations, and so many other commercial transactions, sales, deals, and all that.
They are not the same kind of people who goes out to read the will of a dead person.
That also is included, in corporate practice. And of course, you have the IP lawyer, the intellectual property lawyer. These are people that are more or less focused on issues of copyright, like, copyright is a major issue. Piracy in the movie industry, music industry, and all that. So these kind of lawyers are usually needed by creatives in the creative industry. You also, of course, have entertainment lawyers. Okay, those who handle the complexities of entertainment law, because there are a lot of issues that arise out of entertainment business, and so on and so forth. So I'm one of those people who are interested in corporate practice, and that's what I do whenever I have the brief, and then of course whenever I have the time. So about 70% of the time rather, I'm constantly engaged, in fact fully occupied with my job as the CEO of the Entrepreneur Africa. And the job of a CEO, we all know, is the hardest job on earth. So yeah.
Really?
And then
I thought you just have staffs who you must have assigned to do one or two things. So how is it the hardest job on earth?
Because here there are two things you manage. You're managing human beings and you're managing the business. And I think the hardest part is managing human beings, because they are very dynamic and can come with a lot of headaches. And as against what most people think that CEO is, you're the boss, so you're enjoying, and the staff, they are doing all the work. You are so wrong if that's what you are thinking, because the CEO is actually the chief servant. He's the chief servant of the company. I always tell people, especially startup owners, to remove the O in the CEO. Just go with the CE, which is Chief Executive. Go with CO, all right? Forget about CEO. Just take CEO, which is Chief Officer, okay? If you can think of yourself as an officer, all right, then that will help you more. Because as a CEO, you need to work twice as hard as your staff. Right, when your staff are sleeping, most times you cannot be sleeping, because because the bulk of everything comes down to your table. So it's so that's handling that position at the Entrepreneur Africa is a lot of work, but it's one that I love doing every day, because seeing impacts being made, being able to also help provide food on people's tables by way of our staff, and being able to impact on entrepreneurs, encourage them, create different kinds of support for entrepreneurs in Nigeria and some other African countries through what we do at the Entrepreneur Africa is a thing of joy, and I'm very much satisfied, doing that job. And so, to answer your question, I try to balance the two sides of me, the lawyer, side of me. When I have a brief, of course, that's where having a structure helps. Having a structure in my business in the Entrepreneur Africa helps, because that way I can delegate and assign things and close my eyes at least for a day or two to the running of the business of the Entrepreneur Africa, while I focus on delivering my brief or helping my client achieve their purpose in the aspect of the law practice. Yeah. So at the end of the day, the most important thing is that we are making things happen and we are solving problems.
In this particular aspect of you are actually doing that thing which you said, having a purpose and helping to improve a particular situation.
True.
So far you can say that the situations you've been improving so far is putting food on people's table, supporting startups, and doing all of which you should do to help the entrepreneurs out.
And helping the economy, helping reduce unemployment, helping with job creations, and
helping with employment of labor.
I think we are the saviors of we are the new saviors of the African continent.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Okay,
entrepreneurs.
So will that make me say now so far that you are a business coach, or and do you also offer legal and ethical advice to other startups?
I'm not a business coach. I always like to run away from that tag, even though I do advise businesses, advise entrepreneurs, advise project managers.
I mean,
but,
so far,
but I do not like to be tagged.
So far, you have given a whole lot of business coaching. So why are you running away from it?
I am an entrepreneur who, via practical experiences, has learned a lot on the field. I learn on the field a lot, which is why when I was talking earlier, before you go into business, you must learn, you must study, you must know that industry. However, you don't have to know 100% everything there. You can learn on the field, but you must know to some extent. But then, actually, the biggest lessons are the ones that you learned on the field. So through various practical experiences I acquire every day on this job, I'm able to advise businesses, I'm able to advise startup owners, and I'm able to, of course, help my own staff to be the best they can be in piloting the affairs of the entrepreneur Africa. But I still refuse to be called a business coach. We are just entrepreneurs helping the best, the most we can with what we have.
Jesus Christ of the African entrepreneurs.
Entrepreneurs in Africa are the new saviors of the African continent. Yeah.
Okay, so currently, are you organizing any events in regard to startups and business entrepreneurs? Are there any events you have tabled out to actually bring them together?
Definitely. I had earlier mentioned that the Entrepreneur Africa Awards, the 2020 edition, is just by the corner. It's on December 11th.
That's next month.
Yes, and we're very much excited about it. And
we're so excited about it. And you know why?
Yeah.
Next month is also my birthday.
So
I'm sure by the time I get there, I should get a prize.
Happy birthday in advance. We'll probably have a cake for you at the award dinner. You know. And then for next year, we have the Entrepreneur Africa Business Meeting that will hold in January to help entrepreneurs approach the year in a better way. Considering the fact that entrepreneurs lost a lot this year, so the theme is going to center around recovery. You know, how to recover, you know, and do better in 2021. And then after that, we'll have Boss Lady Conference, which will be around March. Of course, Boss Lady Conference next year will be off the hook. It will be on a new level. And then down the line, in the course of the year, we'll have something that's going to be one of the most exciting and most impactful project for startups, you know, in 2021. It's a competition. It's called AfriStack, you know, Africa Innovative Startup Competition, or rather challenge. So AfriStack, that's Africa Innovative Startups Challenge. So this challenge is going to bring entrepreneurs, particularly startup owners, startup founders, from different places to compete for different prizes. The grand prize will be 1.5 million naira. So, but the top 10 contestants would ultimately win different prizes. So we're going to have 20 finalists. It will be like a reality show. So they will be housed for a couple of weeks. They get to learn a lot about business. They get to interact with a lot of accomplished entrepreneurs, do a lot of tasks and all of that. And at the end of the day, the 10 top finalists would win different amounts. So these are some of the things we have lined up.
Challenge. Can I apply ahead?
Yeah, like I said, you resign first. So you have to seek permission from your boss. If he allows you to resign, he can reject your resignation later. Yeah, so that's some of the stuff we have coming up.
Wow, that's amazing, and a whole lot of package put together for entrepreneurs.
You know, we try.
Really saving.
We are humble.
Really it's really saving. It's really helping, and we are very pleased to have people like you being our saviors. We, the entrepreneurs, better upcoming, already established. Me too, I'm an entrepreneur. Don't look at me like that.
Yeah, we rock.
Okay, so I mean, we know that all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. So, sir, aside work, how else do you unwind?
Netflix and chill.
Oh, Netflix and chill.
Yes, and I mostly do it in my bedroom with lights off and AC on. and then lying down on the bed with pillow at the back of my head.
And you are Netflixing and chilling. That one is a serious chilling.
Yeah, so I do that. I also love to go to the beach alone, especially in the afternoon when the beach is dry. Not many people at the beach. I just love to sit and watch the water and feel like it's just between me and just myself and the water.
The water.
Yeah.
That is indirectly communicating with mommy water.
I don't know about that. So I love nature, so I love to go out, step out all by myself to explore and experience nature. So I do that whenever I get the time. Yeah. So these are some of the things I do to relax. I'm not a sports person per se, so I don't do much of. I don't do much of.
You know, looks as if like there is one iron you're carrying every morning.
The work of a CEO. I told you, the work of a CEO will naturally keep you fit. You don't need more.
Okay, you don't have iron you're carrying every morning.
The 10 people or so that I have to pay at the end of each month is enough load to carry, and the thousands of entrepreneurs that we get to deal with and do stuff for, that's a lot of load to carry. It's bigger than what you carry in the gym. So I'm okay. Yeah. So these are some of the things I do to relax.
Wow, that's fantastic. Yeah. I like that Netflix and chill. I think I'll give that a shot. Off the lights, turn on the AC, and even add the fan, and I'm just Netflix and chill.
Okay, you're welcome.
All right, so we've come to the end of our master's table, and Mr. David Agold has given us every tricks and tales for our startups, and I can tell you that even me, I have learned so far, and I am going to go and start up a business. In fact, I will say handbag. You will buy handbag. Okay, so coming up next will be our business tips, and it's a shocker because our guests will be giving us the tips. Stay tuned.